live, and I should probably move my microphone a little closer to my face. It's close enough. Let's pick me up. Picking up what I'm putting down. It is indeed. Alright. Hello, people of the internet. It is I, Silver Dragon here. Back with Fate Grand Order, although this one is going to be a different one. Chaldea Broadcast Studio US Edition Volume 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is going to be happening in the next 14 minutes. So we are going to be watching that and reacting to that live here. The reason I'm at the title screen for FGO is because I think I heard something about the trailer for the next Lostbelt dropping as soon as you enter in, so let's find out. I'm interested if it does. That'd be interesting. I think they do that with the Part 2 opening. I guess I was deceived. Yeah, just the intro release, login bonus, login bonus for Sin, the Dreaming Path log for logging campaign, support stuff. Oh, maybe that must be, this must be what it meant by intro. Oh, it's not an intro thing, it's an actual cutscene. Well, I suppose this is how we're gonna start things off. I planned on jumping into the Lostbelt if it dropped right after the stream, so yeah, this will work fine. How long has it been since I left the colony of survivors? I managed to keep a log for the first 30 days, but now it just feels like I've lost the ability to keep track of time. In my defense, it's hard to count the days when we don't have nights anymore. It all blurs together. I still have no idea how things got to this point, but what I can say for sure is that somehow the sun is shining on every corner of the world at once. That's a little disturbing. With everything bleached white as far as the eye can see, you get numb to the time as well as distance. My food and water are starting to run out. Once they do, that'll be it for me. At least my old motorcycle is still purring like a kitten. I never expected this solar generator to work this well for this long. It proved you can ride an old motorcycle from Australia to North America as long as you have a surface to ride on and a solid engine. This dude's been traveling far and wide. All I drive over seems to be an endless white wasteland. No, maybe wasteland isn't the right word. It's more like pavement without so much as a single crack or seam to be seen. It's nothing like a desert either. There's just nothing here. I don't even get that sort of natural austerity wasteland gives off. It's not so much that it seems like life's dead out there as if it never existed to begin with. Case in point, I've not even seen a single sign of death or decay this whole time. Not a single corpse, no plants, no animals, no insects, not so much as a microbe. This isn't a dead world, it's an empty one. There's nothing. Not even bacteria to make food spoil. It feels clean. Too clean. Never mind that last bit. I must be more tired than I thought. I'm getting overly sensitive. I can see an unnatural shape just up ahead. Probably some more remnants. I think I'll rest there today. Maybe there'll even be some food left if I'm lucky. Poor rando on a motorcycle. Remnants in this case are areas that somehow escaped the reset, or places that remain in part despite being reset. The colony I left behind was situated in one such remnant. If any satellites were still intact, we might even have been able to find and connect with other survivors. Not that it would have made us any less powerless to fix this all. After all, if that tree were to attack again, humanity would be well and truly gone. The tree? It's the tree. Survivors, 0. Signs of people having been here, 1. A single message. No food, sadly, but any port in a storm. Besides, just seeing artifacts of civilization like this again does wonders for my morale, even if it is gutted to roots from a brutal invasion. David. I shrug my shoulders as I sit down on what used to be a sofa. The shrug is just a desperate ploy to convince myself I'm calm, but strangely it still helped. That's nice, at least. I play back the only message data to be found. It is essentially the same as all the others out there. I'm scared, I'm scared, I'm scared, I'm scared. Run away, run away, run away. It hurts, it hurts, it hurts. Why, why, why? No, no, no. Help me, help me, help me. Please, forgive me. That's not disturbing in the slightest. There it is again. Why? Why are these people attacked? Why were they erased? I did my best to recall that day calmly and objectively. The year when Earth fell to invaders from another world. Truth be told, we had time to prepare. Maybe it was only 12 hours, maybe it was still time we could have used. On that New Year's Eve, we lost every satellite around the world in an instant. Ooh. Alien gods were fast. Bleh. In consequence, we were not able to observe a single cosmic ray, even as the whole world was reduced to a blank, dusty gray sphere. I know that it was a membrane in the sky, a dome of sorts made by the tree's branches that was placed over the entire world. Okay, I'm getting some very disturbing imagery in my head. But we weren't exactly in a position to sit down and take stock of what happened on the day, not with all the crazy things going on. 12 hours later, Armageddon. A total slaughter, a massacre on unimaginable scale. Uncountable tree things descended on the earth like so many tentacles from space. They crawled across the world, finding and exterminating all forms of life with unerring accuracy and unerring tenacity, killing almost every human on the planet over the course of 3 months. After that, the tree just disappeared, returning to the sky and leaving a blank, desolate world. Even now, thinking about it makes me tremble. Not the revelation that aliens really did exist, not even the revelation that our world, our civilization had been erased and would never return. No, what scared me was the tree's tenacity, the way they extended their branches to destroy a person's heart with a single stab. Ooh. Upon their death, people would instantly turn to dust, their agonizing screams still echoing around them. Okay, so what exactly did the tree do to people? It doesn't sound like it killed them. I mean, outside, stabbing through the heart, but there were no exceptions. Even though these aliens possess weapons of mass destruction large enough to blot out the sky, they choose not to use them. Instead, they went out of their way to erase billions upon billions of people one at a time. They were like some kind of twisted artisan, burning with perverse passion for their craft. Those of us who did survive, like myself, only managed to do so by being hidden underground facilities at the time. Okay, I mean, I guess it doesn't have surface penetration radars? Dizziness started to overwhelm me. Maybe I've just been under a bit more strain than I realized. I'll just rest up here for today. Tomorrow I'll set back off on my journey from wishful thinking. I may not have much food left, but assuming I've stayed on track, I should be at my destination soon. And it's the last place for any of our satellites caught on camera. The only place in this whole world that hasn't been wiped clean. An area in southern Nevada. That's right, my destination is the Air Force Base known as Area 51. Aliens! Of course it's aliens. Hey, Outlaw, welcome, welcome. The broadcast is in probably about 5 minutes, I would say. Howdy things, Outlaw, howdy things. Signed, David Bluebook. Ooh, Bluebook David. David Bluebook. I wonder if that has any sort of significance. Alright, that was the first part of the intro, apparently. I'm not going to start the second part of the intro here, so close to the broadcast. I will clean that, though. As well as the Dreaming Path. Oh, Heaven's Feel Part 3, you were a magnificent movie. And look, it's Maria's first CE! Yay! She must be so happy that she's finally in a CE. Take this, and that, and that. I'll leave the embers for now, and there we go. Yep, I'm going to finish off the Lostbelt prologue, and then it'll be called here. Sadly, they did not announce the exact release date for the Lostbelt tonight, but, it was still a fun little stream. It was still a fun little stream. Probably not going to stream tomorrow, just because I have been actually feeling a little under the weather. I don't know if it can be heard in my voice, but my throat has been hurting a little bit lately. So yeah. I am almost done with Christmas. By the way, out of curiosity, is anybody else having this issue where you can't claim this? Because I finished all the main quests, The only quests that are left are the 6th gate collecting, and it's in the box. Was I just blind? No, it's not in the box, dude. Oh, line. Okay, that box. Okay, I'm a dum-dum. I'm a dum-dum. I could have swore it happened at the beginning, or after you complete the whole thing entirely. I'm just a dum-dum, apparently. Thank you, Allah. Thank you. Alright. Yeah, let us finish off the Lostbelt 3 intro here. Yeah. Need the wreaths to get the extra copies. Yeah, that's right, that's right. Yeah, so we didn't get the 1200 day. Huh. And it should be around this time, shouldn't it? Let me go. JP 2018. 2018 November. Yeah, we didn't get the 1200 day anniversary, did we? That is weird. I don't know why they wouldn't give us that. Well, let's continue with the intro here. Start the beginnings of this Lostbelt fun times, after all. Alright, back in the stormy seas of the Shadow Border. Did we drive into a hole of the world when I wasn't looking? It was nothing but clear skies as far as I could see just a moment ago. Now I've got an announcement of my own. I estimate the border was about half an hour until it sinks. Yeah, just one problem. There's no land to go back to. We're smack in the middle of the North Sea. Pro tip, I'm listening. Da Vinci, can we still initiate a zero sail here? Surely that must be preferable to sinking to our deaths. We can't. The formulas won't be stable enough on the water. We'd have to rewrite the software from scratch. You say no to a refresher. Gotcha, Phoenix. My mind is like a trap. I remember everything that's occurred in Fate Grand Order up until this point. Hang on, we're getting a call. Go ahead and open up a line, Mr. Meunier. And hurry, Da Vinci is no use to us right now. Right, on it. Wow, Da Vinci is no use to us right now. Sherlock with the burn, man. CQ, CQ, this is the Wandering Seas dock. Can you read me? That vessel, that would be Chaldea's ship, right? Well, wait, that's not a ship. Oh, I see. A tank. Rational, yes, very rational. Ship is unnecessary for zero sail, but I say you have no sense for design. It might as well be a large metal coffin. Nothing charming there at all. Be honest, you would never have made it back without my paper moon, would you? Still a fine job making it all the way here. Everything is proceeding within my calculations. And it's coming from the Wandering Sea, but where? Where? Right in front of you. Oh. Hang on, let me clear the fog. It should be easier to see then. Proceed on your current course, though you may want to reduce your speed. And be sure to give thanks. Alright, this will be the first time in over 2,000 years that this island has revealed itself on a day other than December 31st. Okay, so I admit I'm not too familiar with the Wandering Sea. So, it only reveals itself on December 31st, huh? I mean, end of the year, I guess. Very exclusive sort of entrance, but it can be controlled? What does the Wandering Sea look like? A pillar of mountains! Welcome to Primordial Magecraft Workshop, the Bald Anders of the Wandering Sea. My name is Sion Eltonam Sokaris. I'm a Spiriton hacker who escaped the Wandering Sea when I predicted that the world was about to end. I've been waiting for you. Wait, hold, time. Aren't Spiriton hackers what they're called in the Extraverse when they hack into the moon cell? So this Sion can hack into the moon cell then? Or something along those lines? Being the Atlas Institute's last remaining member, I was the Wandering Sea higher-ups. It trusted me with the project of righting this bleached Earth problem. Ugh. Bleached Earth. It's an apt description. So... Well, we follow the directions that bizarre transmission gave us right to this lump of rock. Now, can you tell me what this is about, Da Vinci? Well, I'm glad the border isn't bobbing around like a damned cork, but we've been sinking these last few minutes, or... But have we been sinking these last few minutes, or haven't we? I have the same question. It seemed to me like the border sank underwater before it emerged on the surface. Don't look at me, I didn't do anything. Once we got onto these rocks, I felt like the currents kind of carried the border the rest of the way. Looks like I tried to steer us, but the currents were just too strong. The border sank about 40 meters, but then popped up a good 30. I think we must have gotten into the Wandering Sea from underneath, since I didn't exactly see a front door. Perhaps that is how they go about docking ships here, or perhaps they keep ordinary ships away. Sounds right to me. I just wish he'd given us a little heads up. So we're in the Wandering Sea's docks. That would appear to be the logical conclusion. The issue at hand, however, is... Are we sure this is the Wandering Sea? And how do we know it's safe out there? Meunier, fire up every sensor we've got. I want to know what's going on outside the border. Roger, but I've already been doing that. I'm not picking up anything at all. Not a damn thing. Testing, can you hear me over there? I'm afraid the Wandering Sea cannot be observed by any means created by or relying upon science. Not even partially. Okay. Time on that now as well. So that means that any means created by or relying upon science. So that means that glasses, contacts, observed. So glasses, contacts, bionic eyes, I guess technically hearing aids. So Mashu can... So what they're saying is you can be wearing glasses, not see a thing, and take the glasses off and see everything. That's weird. And I mean, you can't... You could go further beyond. Not in the Nasu-verse, it's not. Technically in the Nasu-verse, life has other forms of creation, so technically life is a magical thing. Although, also technically, Mashu was a tube baby, a test tube baby, so she was created by science and magic. So... is Mashu just going to be seeing us walking around a blank, empty space and not have any clue whatsoever what's going on? Also, Babbage would be completely blind in here. Poor Mech Suit Babbage. And the Mecha Ellies! Oh no! So many Dunzo! So many servants are going to be blind here, man. I would give up on trying to see what's going on outside that hunk of metal you've been riding around in. None of your sensors will see anything here. Besides, danger is unknown out here, and there's no way there would be anything wrong with my calculations. Right now, this is the most peaceful, happiest, scariest island in the whole world. Peaceful and scary, huh? At any rate, come on out, visitors. I did not open up my darling secret base today just so you could haul up in that big metal box of yours. Well, what should we do now, everyone? Since our senses are blind, someone's gonna have to take one for the team and poke their head outside. I nominate Holmes. Agreed, you can always use your bird suit if things get dicey. Unfortunately, I'm afraid I can't actually use bird suit just yet. At this point, I dare say you could outfight me, Director. Is he... I mean, he could still be recovering, I guess. Good point. Holmes is going to need more time to recover from the injury he sustained in Scandinavia. So then, as the only combat-ready servant here, I should be the one to... Don't we technically also have Sieg here? Because the whole Apocrypha thing happened while we were dreaming. And then Fafnir Sieg sent Terminal Sieg to us. So technically we should have Sieg here as well. But I guess let's go say hi together now, Shu. Right, I was just thinking the same thing, Senpai. Fo-fo! Well, and I'm coming too. I'm just way too curious about to just stay on the border. Friend or foe, the Wandering Sea is a mystic among mystics. No way I would pass up a chance to check out that place that still has mystics from the Age of Gods. Oh man, my nose is getting all stuffy. You're better off not getting mixed up with these places if you ask me. They even say the clock tower's an inhospitable hell when you get right down to it. I see you plebes know your place in your own way. You're quite right, Junior. One should never move past one's station to peer into the secrets of Maycraft or the organizations that keep them. And once you do, you'll be so shocked at how vastly they overpower you that you may find yourself bedridden and half mad for a month. I think I've got madness handled. I've got Abby on my side. Gordy. It's all risk, no reward. Curiosity hasn't killed the cat, it was fear. However, as we are humans are not cats, it's possible to overcome these fears much like I did. Mash Carolite, Soul. I hereby authorize the two of you to investigate whatever lies outside. Once you're certain that there's no danger, call for me right away. Oh, and try to stick close to the border, would you? You should be no more than 5 seconds sprint from here at the most. Roger, roger. Wait, a 5-second sprint from me or a 5-second sprint from Mash? Because I'm pretty sure Mash can outspeed me like nobody's business. Alright, I'm going to open the border's port hatch now. Are you ready, Master? All set here. I've got your backs. I may not be much use in a fight, but I can make damn sure nothing gets by my defenses. Thank you, Da Vinci. Opening the hatch now. Oh man, my sinuses. This is a lot less fancy than I was expecting. It's very dingy. It's incredible. Wow, this place is amazing. Look, Mash looks all on this. Oh, this is like top shelf secret base stuff. It's like a picture becomes life. Whoever designed this must have been such a dummy. So we're doing Gouda faces now. I mean, I knew Charlemagne was a Gudo face. And now we have a Gudako face, apparently. I hope she does not have the madness of Gudako. Oh, voice. I really need to get a voice changer. Thanks for the kind words. I must be doing pretty well if the great Leonardo da Vinci, famous junior notorious problem child, would speak like that about me. Wait, is that really da Vinci? Isn't she a little off? Too girly? Just a little too high spec? Hey, you there. Master Soul? Is that girl there really and truly Leonardo da Vinci? I sure am. I'm Da Vinci backup unit made by the one and only Leonardo da Vinci herself. What about you? Are you the girl who contacted us? Alright, I was so surprised by Girl Vinci here that I forgot my manners. Cut, and take 2. She's got a bit of that madness. I'm Sion Nem Sakars, an alchemist here to mess with you guys on behalf of the Atlas Institute. Definitely a little bit of that madness there. The Gudako faces are tainted with madness. Oh, I also made Trismegistus. Good pronunciation. Let me check this image. Yeah, that's definitely a very different design. From a ponytail to twin tails. Much more pointed face, glasses. I mean, the uniform, I can see the resemblance, you know, just a bit more high definition uniform here, but definitely different. Most definitely different. I also made the Trismegistus and the Paper Moon you were manhandling just a few minutes ago. So I'm here to collect damages you owe me for copyright infringement. It totals to about $790 million, so... Back in the ship! Back in the ship! Yeah, you guys are boned. Whatever human rights you think you had are gone. Hey, I'm the master here. You can't get me with capitalism. Money has no value anymore. Capitalism is a myth. And do you know what this means? Well, it means I own you. Lock, stock, and barrel, baby. What did I just... Lock, stock, and... She's gonna be an interesting one. She is going to be a very interesting character, I can already tell. So, mind if just signing this contract here for me? I hereby confess using Miss Sion's intellectual property without her express permission. I also absolutely saw the inhumanity and such. Therefore, until repayment of said aforementioned unpayable debt, I, Soul, do hereby offer up the following: my body, my soul, and each and every one of my worldly possessions, past, present, and future, throughout the universe, to Sion. There you go. Mind just signing here, and here. And she'll there too say, mind being modded. Are you into mecha? Bioengineering? I'll mix your both. Oh, what the heck. We can just throw them all in. Don't worry, it will not hurt at all. I think yeah, she's definitely got that Gudiko madness. Wait. Hang on. See, your debt might not be unpayable. I have a Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh would totally help me pay off this debt, right? Guys, Gil will pay off $790 million worth of debt. Totally. Totally. Come on, Gil. Let me summon Gil first, and then we can discuss. Oh, God. Just kidding. You don't owe me anything. I was only messing with you. Besides, I was using old Zimbabwean dollar value, so you could have just totally paid it back. And old Zimbabwean dollar. Like I said, she's gonna be a character. Sorry, I might have gotten a little carried away there. You'll have to forgive me. I had never actually done this before. I know I sort of struck first, so to speak, when I contacted you earlier, so I was being all formal to try and put you at ease. But as you can see, I'm not really like that. Just your everyday, mild-mannered alchemist here. That makes sense. You spoke so fast, I didn't realize it right away. But there's no way anyone from the Atlas Institute would be so quick to pull out the contract. I see an advanced technique designed to better break the ice during our first encounter. Yeah. I don't know. The chaos I'm getting from her. Alright, let me introduce myself again. My name is Sion. Welcome to the Wandering Sea Chaldeans. Leonardo da Vinci, Mash Chirolite. Soul, and... I didn't see that animal mention any sort of our data. What if he's someone's familiar? I can sense a modicum of intelligence from it, like an AI that just started learning. Wait. Hold up. An AI that just started learning. Modicum of an... Hang on. Didn't Foe say in the Temple of Time that when he sacrificed his magical energy to Mash to bring her back to life, that he would revert back to a simple beast-like state? Simple. I mean, this might be a modicum, but an AI that just started learning? Is Foe coming back? Are we getting Foe back to his normal self again? Because that would be awesome. But they could also throw the twist in and throw us against Beast Foe. So... mixed feelings there. Well, no problem. I already have a pretty good idea of who you guys are. I'm not seeing what has become of the outside world myself, but I do know what happened to Chaldea on the first day of 2020. You haven't seen the outside. Does that mean you're no immunity to the atmosphere? Oh no, I'm completely healthy. You have to be in good shape to use memory partition at a halfway decent level after all. I just meant I don't have the need to go outside. Sorry for the misunderstanding, Mash. So, who's in charge right now? From what information I have, it should be Da Vinci here, but given she has a whole kid thing going on, I assume that is no longer the case. I must have a gap in my information somewhere. Better get that sorted. I'm impressed you picked on that. You look like a girl, and it would seem that you are, in fact, something of a girl. Indeed, the master/amateur mage, the dummy servant girl, and the capable technical advisor are merely my subordinates. Who am I? Why, you surely need not ask. I am Chaldea's new director, the man who will one day resurrect the golden age of the prestigious music estate, Gordolf Music. I see you're surprised that I'm still alive. I know that crest and that uniform would seem you truly are a mage of the Atlas Institute. That means it should have been absolutely trivial for you to predict the terrible tragedy that befell my Chaldea with your fancy, thought acceleration. I am keenly aware of how I fell for Koyon Sakaya's devious scheme, and so inadvertently allowed the cryptid to carry out their plans. No doubt I was the first one to be killed off in Atlas prognostications. The quickest way to ensure our plan's success is to check out your opposition's genius commander, after all. But as you can see, I survived. For no matter how poor the road conditions, how dire the weather, or how far behind I may be, I will never retire before the race is over.
You're Gordolf, right? I'm not surprised you're alive, given your specs.
Huh? You're not.
Your odds were not great, but they were also not zero. I figured you would make it out of there as long as you had solid help and backup. No, it was the servant behind you that surprised me. Would you mind telling me your name?
Oh yes, I do beg your pardon. I was preoccupied with keeping our new director safe since he insisted on venturing out to see what's going on for himself. I am Sherlock Holmes, a ruler. As you are the successor to the Great Atlas Institute, I trust that is all the introduction you need.
Well, you already know who I am. Even for a famed detective, it just seems a little suspicious. You already know that much about me.
Well, I meant you, my dear Miss Seal. Your middle name, Eltam, tells me all that I need to know. From there, all I need to do is contrast your behavior with our current situation, and the answer all but presents itself. Yeah, I'm calling him out. I am calling him out. Now, don't go giving away the game, Mr. Soul.
You can try Hermes. Now I see. That must have been during the Sixth Singularity. I read about that in the report to the Mages Association. So you managed to try Hermes directly without losing your mind, huh? Really now. No wonder you're the pinnacle of intelligence among servants. You and I are going to get along just fine.
This is Nemo. I feel like Nemo looks fairly low res.
Come on, Sion. How much time are you going to waste talking? You want me to give this ship a tune-up, right? Hurry up and get the crew off it already. What, do I have something on my face? You're kind of rude, aren't you?
Sorry about that. Nice to meet you. That magical energy. Are you a servant? Does mean the Water Sea is also capable of summoning servants?
Yeah, I snuck a peek at Chaldea's system, came up with my own take on it, and somehow managed to summon a single servant. I needed someone who could watch my back, and also make sure I would not break it. I mean, I could draw blueprints all day on my own, but what good is that for nobody actually builds any of it, right? I'm still amazed you managed to summon a heroic spirit somewhere besides Chaldea. Hello there, servant from the Wandering Sea. My name is Mash Carolite. May I ask who you are? You don't have to tell me your true name. I'm no one. I don't have a name. If you have to call me something, just call me Nameless. Now get everyone out of here, Sion. I can't call everyone else with all these people in the way. This is painful to look at. It's worse than watching coral reefs die. What happened to this ship? I can hear it crying in pain. I need to fix it now before I go insane. Oops, looks like someone got up on the wrong side of the bed today, huh, Captain? Well, guess I'm unable to blame you since you are even shyer than me.
Is that how you spell Shire? Hang on, is that... I feel like that's not how you spell Shire. I need to look this up now, because it's going to annoy me unless I do. Yeah, that spelling means a horse that tends to shy. So, Nemo is a horse that tends to be shy. Good to know. NA has spoiled Nemo's true identity. He is actually a horse. Awesome.
Captain, is that some sort of joke? Are you mocking me? Well, what else can we call you? Would you prefer Prince? Fine, I guess Captain works since we have more guests now. At least it's better than Prince.
It would seem you added something to that servant's spirit origin. Am I correct, Miss Sion?
Yeah, Phantom Spirit. One can't summon a decent heroic spirit without Mash's shield, you understand? Since I was missing powerful holy relics like that, I had to make do with whatever I could scrounge together to make a spirit origin. But don't ask me to reveal his true name. That's something a servant should choose to do. Once Captain trusts you guys, I'm certain his identity will become clear. Q! Fo-fo! Alright. Anyway, right now it's just me and the captain here. I promise there's nobody else around, so feel free to bring the rest of the Shadowboarders crew along. I have prepared a room for the staff where they can relax and rest up, but I'm afraid I'll have to ask all of you to just join me for a little longer. I can imagine how exhausted you must be and would love to sleep in a proper bed, but that must wait. This is just the entrance, see? Come, I'll take you to the command room.
Command room, command room. Hey, this looks familiar. A little bit more dusty and earthy, but still familiar.
Whoa. Oh. It's
Chaldea's command room.
Yeah, I see how you can make that mistake, Soul, but a mistake it would be. Chaldea's command room was actually modeled after this place. This is the masterpiece I've been assembling day and night for the last 3 months ever since I first came to the Wandering Sea. I call it Spiriton Calculation Engine Trismegistus 2.
Wait, 3 months since she came to the Wandering Sea. So, unless there's a time... I mean, this does take place not even a week after the Scandinavian. So, mental preparations go. So, the Part 2 prologue happened on December the 31st. Chaldea disappeared. We went into the Shadow Border. Over 3 months, the alien god, or whatever, the tree, destroyed all of humanity. After 4 months, we emerged from the imaginary number space in Russia Lostbelt. We took down the Russia Lostbelt. Within a week, we went to the Scandinavian Lostbelt. And from there, it was pretty close after that. So would this technically take place like 6 months ago in real time, technically?
Great production of the Trismegistus 1 I lent to Chaldea and the new brains of your operation. You don't say. You said you've been assembling it, so that must mean you brought the necessary materials along with you when you came here. Between the paper moon and all this groundwork you've been laying, you're obviously no ordinary mage. So you're not named Salkaris. It looks to me like you know even more about Chaldea than we do. Yeah, a lot about what I know came from before Chaldea really got off the ground. As you know, the pseudo-spiriton calculation engine Trihermes is the heart of the Atlas Institute. My father, the head of the Atlas at the time, was supposed to create Trihermes' sister unit, Trismegistus, before its development was handed off to me. I propose using paper moon base seals as a method for sending people into the past, well, into singularities anyway. But Chaldea First Director Miraspiri had a different idea for a more reliable method. His proposal was a process he called ray-shifting that involved transmitting physical bodies to spiritons. It was a more proactive approach, given that it was closer to the Atlas Institute's prognostication. Not exactly the most cautious proposal, all told, but the fact that a mage like him was willing to reveal his most secret arts like that spoke volumes. I mean, if we were to have gotten around that the Animus family, one of the 12 Clock Tower Lords, was sharing technology with Atlas, it would have meant war with the other Lords, leading ultimately to the end of the Animus spheres, which are already gone. Director Marisbury understood the seriousness of the risks and chose to act anyway, so the Atlas Institute decided to accept Chaldea's request out of respect for the risks he took. Of course, none of the other Lords ever did figure out what Marisbury was up to, so it ended up not really being a thing. Anyway, you all know what happened next. We provide Chaldea with the Trismegistus, which enabled Chaldea to complete Chaldeas, and the Chaldea Security Organization went on to do what it was intended to do. I am certain you all know more about Chaldea's actual exploits than I do. We were just the ones who gave you the tools to get things rolling. Indeed, we do know about Chaldea's connection to the Atlas Institute. We do not know, however, about you. How did you survive the reset of the world, and why were you waiting for us here in the Wandering Sea? Yep. You have a thing for asking questions you already know the answer to, huh, Sherlock? Are you obliged to? Will you die otherwise? I suppose since you are being so meticulous and all, I can go ahead and tell you what I already know. The answer first, I escaped the reset because I was in the Wandering Sea. The Wandering Sea is like its own little singularity. It's always drifting between the world's textures. And I kept it safe even while the world was being wiped clean. Answer the second, I came to the Wandering Sea because I predicted this future. Trihermes collects, organizes, and makes records of tons of data about Earth just like Chaldeas. It's like a huge sea of information all there for the taking. Fragments like us may as well be your own primordial soup. I was just taking a little dip in that sea, without my father knowing, of course, when I ended up arriving at that prediction. In short, I was not sure how, but I knew the world would cease to exist in 2020. It was the biggest dilemma of my life, to say the least. I mean, the world as we know it ceased to exist. COVID. I knew I had to do something, so I told my father about my prediction. But that theater-reject excuse for a father, the great head of the Atlas told me was, I see humanity ending every day, don't waste time with trivialities like this. Besides, you discover this problem, my darling Cecilon. Don't you think you should be the one to solve it? And that was when I really hit me just how understaffed the Atlas Institute really was. Every person there had their hands full stopping some version of the end of the world that they had seen. That's a little ominous. While I'm at it, I have a little bonus. Answer the third the moment I made my decision. I know I'll go to the Wandering Sea. So I took the parts I was using to make Trismegistus 2, and used them to build Hermes instead, which then knocked on the Wandering Sea's front door. By doing so, I secured a safe haven for both myself and my future collaborators, 2 birds, 1 stone. I was certain that no matter how things unfolded, Chaldea was going to get knocked out of the commission. That would be too important for our invader. There were pretty much 2 ways the world could end, gradually and suddenly. Usually things would go gradually, progressing in stages until the lights go out, so to speak. There are leaders all around the world doing their best to identify those scenarios and keep them at bay. Meanwhile, the sudden types are more like traffic accidents where everything happens all at once. Nothing much one can do, no matter how smart. For that sort of thing, ray shifting was all we had to fight back. And what is happening right now with the world bleached white, thanks to the invaders from outer space, is no exception. Thus, anyone meticulous enough to put together a plan like this would never overlook Chaldea, seeing as you were the only one who is capable of ray shifting. I certainly would not. If I were trying to destroy Earth, Chaldea would be at the top of my hit list. In fact, taking it out would be my opening move. And that is exactly what they did. Sorry, I should have kept that to myself. So, even though I had a base to fight back from, there's still not anything I could do on my own. I mean, I didn't know who was attacking or how they would do it. So really, this is the only thing I could do was put my trust in you guys. If these invader things saw you as that big of a threat, I was sure you could prove there was a reason for that. I knew you would survive, and you would not give up, no matter how bad things got. So knowing that you would fight back, my task got a lot simpler. I would make you a new base, I would create a second Chaldea for you, and keep it ready and waiting. That was really the only answer I could come up with at the time. And now, even though you had no idea about any of this, you made it here. And that is all I have. Thanks for listening. I need a drink. So you've been waiting for us all this time. Oh, stop. You're gonna make me blush, but thanks, Sion. This is probably where the last version of me would say you should have actually gotten in contact with us ahead of time, but... Are you crazy? I'm far too shy for that. Besides, if you tell people the future, you end up changing the future and having to come up with a whole new plan from scratch. And exactly, it would have taken time to recalculate, and we almost certainly didn't have any time to spare. So I decided this was the best course of action. Okay, that makes sense, but still doesn't explain some things. Like, why are there no other mages from the Wandering Sea here? They avoided the big reset just like you did, right? So why is it just you and the captain now? I didn't think this blank earth thing was their problem, just as my father didn't. No, if anything, they were even worse. They honestly didn't care if post-AD humanity lived or died. Right when this whole bleaching thing started and the cryptors were giving their victory speech, they said, "You're the ones who should do something about this cataclysm. We no longer care what happens to human civilization. We understand the attackers' ideals, but regardless, we do not share them." They even just up and left. Wow. Well, before they did, they also said, "You may invite the mages of Chaldea here if you wish. Feel free to use the Wandering Sea, but only in specified areas. But take care not to enter our workshops. We can't promise you'll survive the experience." Anyway, this place used to be the Wandering Sea's entrance, so it's connected to a workshop devoted to bringing back several different Age of Gods. Now that does us much good now, though, since it has a giant stone gate blocking it. I see, so the Wandering Sea's most prominent figure, so no value in post-AD humanity. No matter, the Wandering Sea's magecraft is a magecraft from the Age of Gods. There's no telling how powerful it is. We must find some way to open the stone gate and get them to help us, Mr. Gordolf. Don't be ridiculous, Holmes. You shouldn't even be looking at that gate, let alone touching it. Oh god, it's as if the Academy principal was waiting for me just behind that gate. How can this be happening? This single gate feels as though it could shatter several lords at once. I don't know what he's on about, but he's clearly more terrified than I've ever seen him. So maybe best if we leave that gate alone. The last thing we need right now is making more enemies. The first order of business is to get the Shadow Border repaired. As long as you have a working ship, we can leave the Wandering Sea behind whenever we want. I appreciate the offer, Sion, but I'll handle our border's repairs myself. We don't want to impose on. Hey, Da Vinci. I'm sorry, I tried to hide in the border like you told me to, but they still managed to find me. So much for our last bit of insurance. How'd you screw up this time, Meunier? How could they have found that room when I was the only one who knew it existed? Well, a bunch of them got in the border, and they were really cute, so before I knew it, I was going over to say hello. Meunier! Wait, no, it's not like that. See, I couldn't have failing with the border and this concept, so I decided to give them a piece of my mind. Sorry, I'll forget the captain. Picking up ships is kind of his thing. Anyway, why not hold off on those repairs until later, Da Vinci? After all, there is something else we need to do. Welcome party. We will certainly be doing that. I have tons of questions for you and tons more I want to tell you. But if we're going to throw a welcome party, there's still something else that comes first. That's right. What you need is a new base and new rooms. So that is what we're going to make right now. Your New Chaldea base. New Chaldea! New Chaldea! Woo! There's 3 parts to this introduction. Foe be running, running, running. He be running, running, running. Oh, it's the Cryptors now. I'm afraid so. Skadi has been defeated and the Tree of Darkness is gone, taking the Scandinavian Lostbelt with it. Tragically, Ophelia didn't make it either. So where's the performance, Koyan? It makes me detest you even more than Chaldea. Oh my, you saw right through me? How embarrassing. And here I was going above and beyond to pay my respects to a fallen comrade by turning on the waterworks to go with lip service. After all, Ophelia was one of my most important clients. That jewel-rank mystic eye of hers was a real beauty. Completely wasted on her, though. Textbook example of fallen could have too much of a good thing. If only she'd agreed to let me have the eye before it got ruined, I would have done everything in my power to help her stay alive. I see. Well, I suppose it wasn't a total loss. Just the thought of alone of you in possession of the eyes enough to make me turn my stomach. My, Kuda, I'm surprised you see you giving up Ophelia's death, given what a misanthrope you are. Is this the only one of those you don't know what you've got until it's gone things, or are you always secretly fond of her? Not that there's any comfort to her either way. See, the thing about friendship between girls is they're all about exploiting each other, just as long as there's something in it for them. It doesn't matter how much she might have disliked me, there's at least there for her once in a while. I actually tried to help her with her problems, but all you did was sit back and watch. So where'd you go off suddenly acting like she was so precious to you? You didn't do anything, so you don't get to say anything. Isn't that common sense in human society? Maybe you wouldn't have forgotten that if you hadn't shut yourself away all this time. How dare you talk to me like that, you dirty little fox? Alright, that's enough, girl. Save it for after we've all been wiped out, okay? Come on, Akuta, honey. You've worked so hard to keep your face as emotionless as possible. Don't let all that effort go to waste. I'm surprised to hear you being so straightforward too, Koyan. You usually play your cards much closer to your chest. I guess it just goes to show how much Ophelia's death really hurt the two of you. Oh, wonderful. I love seeing the men try to act all cool and start pretending it doesn't bother them. Look at us sharing our thoughts and feelings about the dearly departed. It's almost like a real funeral. Stop that. I don't have any words of condolence for her. I only came to report on my Lostbelt. I've done that, so I'll be leaving now. Pepe, Kirstaria, just to be clear, I want nothing to do with that fox woman. She's not good for anything but toppling nations. Don't you dare send her to my Lostbelt, not even by accident. Damn, she really did just up and leave. Whatever happened to teamwork, huh? Are you sure about this, Widime? Koyan's not the only reason Okuda was pissed. She's furious at the loss of Russia and Scandinavia. If Koyan hadn't given her an easy target, she'd probably taken a rage out on me. I can almost see her berating me for being useless. And she'd have every right to. You know, now that you mentioned it, I think somebody ought to. Why not me? I mean, sure, it's great you made it back here alive after Rush got taken out and all, but you're one of us. But here's a question. Why are you still alive, Kadak? It was your servant who wrecked Chaldea, right? They ought to hate you more than any of us. And here you are without even a scratch. How the hell does that work? Are they seriously that freaking stupid? Or maybe we're thinking about changing sides. It's kind of a relief to see you're still a complete asshole, Barrow. If I'd really gone over to Chaldea, I'd still be stuck in the border trying to choke down that nasty prison slum they serve about now. Trust me, they don't have enough resources to keep anyone non-essential around. I'm just a pathetic loser who managed to escape death thanks to sheer dumb luck. At least for now. Oh, I see, a loser, huh? Barrel. I'm just busting your balls, Kadak. All I really care about is that you're still alive. Gotta say, though, it's a real shame you and Ophelia had such shitty luck. Then again, maybe it wasn't so much as Chaldea had good luck. They're certainly not getting by on actual skill. I really can't get my head around that idiot master still being alive. Hey! How the hell does a third-rate amateur like that keep walking away unscathed? Skill. Hey, I didn't die in an explosion before I even got the chance to start. He's got either incredibly lucky or just getting carried. I've heard of flattery getting you everywhere, but this is nuts. Well, don't forget that his defenses are perfect. Mash is his servant, after all. It only makes sense that a shielder would ensure her master was protected. Well, so Mash is gonna keep him safe, huh? Now I'm even more jealous. Imagine getting to play hero while hiding behind a... Okay. Beryl, you're dead. I don't care. Beryl's dead. I will kill Beryl 12 times at this rate. If we take Koyon's report at face value, then I have no choice but to agree. David, what do you think of the Master of Chaldea? Good question. It's hard to believe he's made up this far. As a rule, people going off to war must bring a proven weapon. This isn't something they do to protect themselves or even to accomplish their mission. They simply do it because they are incapable of moving forward without the assurance that they are able to fight. And yet the Master of Chaldea continues to fight while fully aware he has no weapon to call his own. He either has no sense of danger whatsoever, or nothing. There's no other possible explanation. He's a total jerk of a mage. Hell, he doesn't even deserve to be called a mage. The only thing he can do is rely on Chaldea's mystic coast to convert his life energy into magical energy for his servants. And since there's no way to do that over a distance, he has to be close as possible to his servants to manage even that much. He has no way of defending himself. He's too stupid to command his servants from a safe zone like we can. Okay, Caddick. Dude, I need to get Anastasia so that I can rub her in Caddick's face. So he's only got one choice. And that's standing on the front lines like a goddamn moron. And trust me, he's trying to get the help. He's trying to get help to keep from pissing himself the whole time. Hey, no I'm not. Koyon, let me make sure I have everything straight. You say that Chaldea didn't defeat Ophelia, but rather she sacrificed her life of her own accord. You also say that in order to stop search of the Fiery King of Giants, the one hiding in the Scandinavian Lostbelt, before he could trigger Ragnarok, she used her serious light and acted as not as a cryptor, but simply as Ophelia. Exactly, Lord Castaria. She abandoned her responsibilities as a cryptor. Damn, seriously, what a twist, because it means your ass got dumped, Wudame. Oh! I mean, I got the feeling that Ophelia liked Wudame, but I don't know if that feeling was ever mutual. Man, she was so into you, too. See, this is why I can't stand her, because you just can't trust him. I'll confess I'm disappointed in overestimation of her abilities. Scandinavia was a peaceful Lostbelt, after all, that she could not control even such a place. Oh, that reminds me, Kirstaya. I actually have a little question of my own. You knew about Surtur all along, right? And you still entrusted Scandinavia to Ophelia? In fact, weren't you the one who told her to keep Surtur around? If so, something doesn't quite add up. Surtur was the natural enemy of the Scandinavian Lostbelt, you know. Does that mean you left him up there specifically so he would destroy it? Is that what the foreign god asked you to do? Also, I hate Vinch, but I like how her eyes become totally yellow with black slits when she squints. Yes, I did advise Ophelia to keep Surtur around. Given Scully's nature, I thought it to be possible she may sympathize with Chaldea. I suggested she keep Surtur around as a sort of insurance against that eventuality. Sadly, it seems that even that was too much of a burden for her. I thought it would have turned out better. Now I see. So you were worried Ophelia might be able to handle it on her own. You always knew what a weakling she was, even as you kept telling her how much you trusted her. You're a devious one, aren't you, Lord Castaria? In that case, I'm happy to forget the whole thing ever happened. I'll make sure not to mention this to the foreign god, or the other alter egos, of course. I appreciate your faith in me, Koyon, though I always find it worrying that you add in bonuses like that. Koyon, you say you lost track of Chaldea around the North Sea. I suppose they could have escaped with the Zero Sail, but given their land resources, I can't imagine they would be willing to do so for long. In which case, they must have reached the Wandering Sea. How troublesome. That was the one place the foreign god couldn't touch, or the place the foreign god felt no need to bother with at any rate. And since the mages of the Wandering Sea have no interest in the future of modern mankind, we assume they wouldn't interfere with our plans. But perhaps our decision to ignore them was a mistake. Huh? Not even the foreign god could do anything about them. Evidently not, since they clearly avoided being erased. The Wandering Sea is an island unto itself, both part and separate from the rest of the world. You can't take an eraser to something that already doesn't exist. Anyway, this puts us in a pretty pickle. I have no idea how we'd find them now. How about you, Koyan? You can travel between Lostbelts at will. Can you track them down? I'm afraid not. I may possess independent manifestation, but I can't sneak into the Wandering Sea without knowing exactly where it is. Well, that makes sense. Well, I guess we'll just have to forget about Chaldea for now, focus on our own Lostbelts and... Not happening, Pepper. Chino. Between Gaddock and Ophelia, they've already taken out 2 of us. We can't ignore this Chaldean moment any longer. We need to crush them. Quickly. Right, Widame? There's no reason to keep eyesores like that alive any longer than we have to, is there? Oh, come on. Don't tell me you're siding with Pepe on this. You're gonna let them keep getting away with this. Then again, I guess you're already pretty much set, aren't you? No one could ever hope to cross that sea of yours after all. All you've got to worry about is which bottle of champagne you're going to open after you win by default. But for us mere commoners, this is a matter of life and death. Isn't that right, David? How am I supposed to enjoy my manhunt when I know Chaldea can stab me in the back at any time? Come on, Koyan, this is your jurisdiction here. I mean, there's 3 of your alter egos, so can't you figure out a way to take care of them as part of your job or great disciples of the Foreign God? Let me think. Rasputin's team is out fighting a group of proper human history servants in the Grecian Seas right now. The Grecian Seas, hang on. I need to look up where that is exactly. Ow. Why is my armor? That was weird. So the Grecian Seas. So it's the Mediterranean between the Greek and Anatolian Peninsula. I'd have to look back at the Lostbelt map. I don't know what it is that creepy Miyoji loves so much about India, but he refuses to budge there, so I guess I have to handle this one myself, even though it's not my contract. So you want me to get rid of those pesky Chaldeans for you? Oh, alright. Just like that, huh? Can you really pull it off? I mean, I thought you just said you couldn't seek into the Wandering Sea. Oh, don't worry about that. We pros have our ways. And that said, eliminating all of them is going to be one expensive job, and I doubt you could afford it. So I trust you won't mind if I take a more cost-effective measure. Now, what do you have in mind? The important thing is to neutralize the third of Chaldea poses, right? It won't be a problem. They only have 1 master to spare after all. So you just sit tight and wait while I go and assassinate him before anyone even notices I'm there. Uh-oh. That's totally not ominous. So we're the target. Lovely. Looks like Koyan's worked away again. You really think she went to the Wandering Sea? Considering that neither the Foreign God nor the disciples have been able to locate it, I have difficulty imagining that even Koyan will be able to infiltrate it anytime soon. But knowing her as I do, I expect she must have some sort of plan to reach her destination. Shit, she can actually warp to the Wandering Sea, and I was just screwing with her. Yes, it really does never hurt to ask, but also, where can I get that kind of warping juju, because hot damn! Anyway, I know she'll make good on her word. I also like her pick of going to the Assassination route. Guess I'd better make sure I stay on her good side from now on. That way I know I'll have a ticket out of my Lostbelt if everything goes to shit. Why, I suppose Missing Barrel is your Lostbelt really that horrid? Yeah, let's just say it's all going to plan, right, Widame? Oops, I've said too much. Time to go. Later, Gaddock. You enjoy that Greek nightlife since you got nothing to do but live it up. Oh, and save me a few drinks if I screw up too, so we can have a loser's night out on the town. Beryl, you're the only loser in my opinion, because you are objectifying Mashu, and you need to die for that. As if he wasn't treating me like a traitor just a few minutes ago. The worst part is he meant it. Whatever, this meeting's done, so I'm heading out too. Besides, I only just got here to this Greek Lostbelt. You said there's a few different policies here, right? I'm just gonna check them out while I heal up. Then there were 3. I'm glad to see Gaddock doing so well. He's still as angsty as ever, of course, but he's so much more brazen now than he used to be. It's wonderful. Anyway, I think I'll be going now too. Kristaria, David. This may not be my place to ask, but aren't you two all at all sad about Ophelia's death? Good question. I can't say I've spent much time giving Ophelia any real thought from the beginning. For what it's worth, I do feel her loss. I mean, I guess that's kind of nice from David. He seems fairly emotionless, so... I see, looks like they'll be the only one bringing flowers to their figurative grave then. But that's okay, flowers are the only thing my loss... are the one thing my lost has plenty of. Might not line up with her beliefs, but I can still hold my own little funeral for her. I'll be sure to add some flowers for you too, Kristaria, since I've not seen so much smile since you sat in that chair. Oh, so Kristaria is affected. That's kind of sad. I mean, he is the dick that wiped out all of humankind, so... Your indefatigable positivity never ceases to impress me, Pepe. I'm lucky to have you around. Though you needn't concern yourself with me. Losing the Scandinavian Lostbelt is no more than a minor setback. Though we no longer have Surtur as a failsafe if things take a turn for the worse with strategic loss, however. Still, if there's anything I regret... Ophelia, we only know each other for a few years, but I knew you were a kind and gentle woman at heart. Did you see me as some sort of great figure? I will strive to live up to that. I will end proper human history in order to write a new one and build a new truth in its wake. You may try to resist members of Chaldea, but in the end, it is we cryptors who will prevail. Okay, so he does have some feeling of regret for ripping off 4 freaking parts! This one at least gives us a quartz at the end, so this is probably the last one. Probably. Two weeks after docking at the Wandering Sea. He's everywhere. He's here, he's there, he's everywhere. Who are you gonna call? Name of the... I don't know. I was trying to borrow. As you can see, I did my best to recreate Chaldea right here in the Wandering Sea. I call it the Wandering Sea Chaldea Base. Go on, everyone. I believe a round of applause is in order. Okay, they clapped for me. It's amazing, Senpai. I can't believe Sion and Captain built all this in just 2 weeks. Indeed, this is quite the contribution to our cause, but then I suppose this is what the Atlas Institute's brightest can do. If I say there, you didn't forget about my director's office, did you? The one I ordered with a private bathroom. Wait, you are the director? Yes, that's right. I'm the captain of this ship, so to speak. I asked for 3 things. A gorgeous director's office, a stylish operations room, and a German-style kitchen. The command room should suffice for operations, and I already verified the kitchen is up to snuff, but I haven't seen my director's office anywhere. I presume you took my importance and safety in consideration and made it a secure hidden room. That sort of initiative goes a long way with me. You'll have a lot to look forward to when it comes to your starting salary now that you're in my employ. Crap, I used an empty warehouse for that. I see, so you used an empty warehouse for my office's entrance, eh? I commend you for arranging such an elaborate disguise. But I must say, passing through a warehouse whenever I leave or enter my room sounds like a bother. Tell me, Captain, how would you feel if that were your quarters? You've convinced me. Anything worth doing is worth doing right. See, I'm heading out on another job. I just make sure everything is perfect. Perfectionist. I guess our first servant, someone with Chaldea's secret ordering graph, will have to wait then. Mash, Sol, Sir Gordolf, staff members. And, of course, the 2 servants, Da Vinci and Sir Holmes. Let me first congratulate you on a job well done with all that you've accomplished in these past 2 weeks. As you saw when you first got here, the Wandering Sea is not exactly the most accommodating place. But that all changes today. From now on, you'll each have your own private rooms, and we're sharing one big communal space. We also have a cafeteria now, which should be serving proper food starting tomorrow. I've been living on supplements and artificial blood for a long time now, so building a cafeteria was a novel experience for me. Artificial blood? I thought she wasn't a vampire. Now then, I think it's time for the first Chaldea Atlas Joint Strategy meeting. Oh, first, do you know what the Atlas Institute is, or would you like a refresher? I'm good. May I say something before we begin deliberations, Miss Sion? Apart from the fact that you are a survivor of the Atlas Institute, we still know very little about you. For example, what is your motive here? Why are you helping us? Why? I'm not sure. I know how to answer that. I mean, when you face a problem, you work to solve it, right? And as far as this particular problem goes, you people of Chaldea are essential to the solution. I thought that was why we decided to join forces and become friends. Wait, does this mean I was the only one who thought that?
Aww. We are friends.
We are? Great. We can get down to business.
My apologies, I let my cautious nature get the better of me. I should have remembered that the Atlas alchemists are not motivated by personal gain. Their sole desire has always been to solve problems. I do beg your pardon, Miss Sion. Please rest assured that I am delighted to have gained such a capable ally.
Right then, shall we get down to business? I went ahead and skimmed through your logs from the day Chaldea was attacked until you ended up here.
That's what the refresher would have been.
December 31st, 2019, Chaldea is attacking Frozen Solid. Same day, 7 pillars of light are seen streaking down from space, and Krisharia Woodame broadcasts his victory speech. Krisharia is the be a master of Team A, the linchpin of Chaldea's reshift experiment. But now he refers to the new group he belongs to as the Cryptors. Given that Team A was found to be missing during the operation to unfreeze them before Chaldea was attacked, we can assume the Cryptors Krisharia refers to are the other Team A members.
So we're still getting the refresher.
As for all of you, you undertook a zero sail in the Shadow Border in order to escape the Operation. Although you only spent a week inside the Void Space, 3 months had passed when you emerged into the Standard Space. To do so, the Border had to rely on your sole connection to the Standard Space at the time, the Operation. This led you to the Russian Lostbelt, a frigid alternate history inhabited by the Yaka. As you attempted to gather more information about your situation, you ended up facing off with Ivan the Terrible, the king of the Russian Lostbelt. You managed to cut down Orochi, the Tree of Emptiness, that had taken root there. I'm still working on what these trees actually are, but based on the data about its internal gravitational field recorded during that battle, I think we can make an educated guess. Once the tree was cut down, the storm it had been generating disappeared, and you were finally able to pick up my broadcast from the Wandering Sea. From there, you decided to make a beeline for the North Sea. But on the way, you ran into another obstacle. Scandinavian Lostbelt, a history stuck in perpetual twilight after Ragnarok went awry. When I first saw you had lost the Paper Moon, I thought I might have maybe screamed a little bit, but it was very coming from Outnim, so you can imagine my relief when I found you covered it. You then went on to face Skadi, the king of the Scandinavian Lostbelt, and were able to cut down its Tree of Emptiness, Sombrero, an impressive track record. After that, a battered and damaged Shadow Border finally arrived at the North Sea and made its way inside the Wandering Sea. And now here we are. Did I get all that right? Do you have the logs other than the ones on the border?
Yep, you're all good.
So you have been inside 2 of the Lostbelts now and experienced their differences from proper human history for yourselves. These Lostbelts are dead-end timelines that were pruned away by human history itself once they were deemed unworthy of being allowed to continue. For example, the Russian Lostbelt diverged from proper human history in the year AD 1570. And it seems that each Lostbelt appears on Earth has continued from its point of historical divergence onto the present day. However, just because the Lostbelt may have diverged from further back in the past, doesn't necessarily mean it's stronger. The Lostbelt's strength, or threat really, is not so much a matter of its age, how much it differs from proper human history. The Yaga may have been physically different from mankind, but their lifestyle and culture were still carried over from proper human history. By contrast, the people in Scandinavia may have led peaceful lives, but their society was essentially being kept on life support. So, given what we know from these two, I decided to come up with a metric we could use to rank and compare Lostbelts. I call it the Lostbelt Depth. The greater the Lostbelt depth, the more strongly it refutes proper human history. In order of the first twos. I went ahead and assigned preliminary Lostbelt depth ranking for all 7 of the Lostbelts. Oh yeah, this makes it nice and clear. You Atlas Institute people really do work fast. So I don't see anything in where I think the Gretchian Sea is. I think it's like around there. As you can see, there are 3 Lostbelts in Europe, 2 in Asia, 1 in South America, and 1 in the middle of the Atlantic. The last Lostbelt is the only place on Earth that still has an ocean from before the world was reset. Wait, scratch that, I forgot about the Wandering Sea. We still have an ocean too, obviously. Never mind that, did you say the Atlantic? There can't possibly be a Lostbelt in the middle of the Atlantic. There's never been any inhabitants in the middle of the ocean in all of recorded history. Well, there are now. In fact, the Atlantic Lostbelt is our ultimate objective. This is the one spreading the Tree of Emptiness ridges all throughout Earth's atmosphere. And I have a good cause to believe it is where we'll find the Cryptors' leader, Krisharia Woodame. Atlantic Lostbelt, huh? In that case, there's only one place you can imagine it would be. You think it really is possible, Holmes? That sort of thing is your forte, isn't it?
Well, I can't speak with complete certainty, but if what you are thinking is correct, we will certainly have our work cut out for us. For one thing, we have no means of getting there, as the boar is simply incapable of making such a long sea voyage. But there is another, more immediate difficulty. If there truly is a civilization in the Atlantic, it will be much, much older than any of the great four civilizations. Will have existed since prehistoric days, a stable world that will have over 12,000 years to develop. Come now, man, don't whip out on me now. If this Lostbelt is the greatest immediate threat to us, not to mention Woodman's home base, it's our duty to take the fight to him. The Lostbelts can wait. We should be on our way to the Atlantic even as we speak.
I recommend that course of action as well. Unlike Russia and Scandinavia, the storm walls boring the Lostbelts in China and India are not expanding, so there should be no danger leaving them for a while. As for the Lostbelts in Britain and South America, Trismegistus calculates an extremely high probability that they will both self-destruct if left to their own devices. I have not been able to get a proper reading on the British Lostbelt's depth, but that's just another sign that it's a proper fit for this world. I've been able to confirm what is going on in there, but compared to proper human history and the foundation of humanity, it's pretty clear that humanity in there is on the verge of collapse. So it's reasonable to assume that mankind in the British Lostbelt will go extinct within the span of months rather than years. Though I do wonder why the British Lostbelt is the only one surrounded by a wall of light rather than storms.
Ooh.
So on board too, and came to the conclusion it would be best for us to stay away from the British Isles. Unless it's the South American Lostbelt, while it appears to be a higher value to us due to its Lostbelt depth, I can't seem to get any clear information. So I can only conclude that civilization is just about dead and gone. And that in turn means that even among all these bizarre histories, it's exceptional. And thus not one we need to concern ourselves with as far as fighting with the others go for dominance. So in short, your next destination is the Atlantic. To that end, we'll be making some extensive modifications on the border, and by we I mean Da Vinci with me assisting. However, since it will take at least a month to finish, I would like to invite the rest of you to enjoy a bit of rest and relaxation here in the meantime. That goes double for you, Sir Goldoff and Soul. Once we get our operation going, you two will be on the front lines, so you should take advantage of the rest while you can. You'll need to get all the rest you can before the final battle in the Atlantic.
A sea voyage, huh? Yo-ho-ho, pirate's life for me. That's marvelous outfit. I hardly expect to be on the front line, but you are right about me having been under considerable stress. Indeed, now would seem to be an excellent time to recuperate. I must say, I had heard that every mage in the Atlas Institute was a cranky old misanthrope, but you've turned out to be a most considerate young lady. It will be a height of rudeness to turn down such a kind offer. Now then, I think I'll begin with a nice hot shower in my wonderful new office. Huh, things are finally looking up for old Gordoff. We'll have this world saved in no time.
Excuse me. Why don't you go rest up too, Senpai? I know I can't wait to see what our new rooms are like.
Yes, come to my room. Come to our room, Mashu. Come to our room. We'll break in the bed, and then we'll summon Melt, Arash, and Jolter, and then they can help us.
Man, I'm kind of jealous, but if anyone deserves some free time, it's those two. Anyway, how about us, Sion? We're gonna keep going with the meeting. I should warn you, even you might have a hard time modifying the border. Good point, your designs could be all similar to the magecraft from the Middle Ages, but mine are all based on cutting-edge alchemy. We could well end up having incompatible design philosophies, but never mind that. Truthfully, I'm much more interested in that exoskeleton. I think you called it the Orton X. Mash's own spirit orchard tuning is perfect, but the Orton X still has a long way to go. I imagine it's pretty difficult for Mash to fight in that, am I wrong? Well, yeah, I had to build a lot of the Orton X from spare parts from the border that I just had lying around, so of course it's not perfect. So what did you want to mess with? You know there's no way to restore her defensive power, right? Of course, we could not possibly recreate Galahad's gift with the Earth as it is now. So instead, I was hoping you might let me tinker with the bunker bolt mechanism. I mean, it doesn't have to be right this second, but I have something in particular I would like to add to it before we get to the Atlantic. Before I get pulled onto Her Majesty's development, I was also working on a conceptual weapon related to one's natural longevity. A conceptual weapon related to one's longevity. Interesting. Wow, it's identical to my old room. The plant's even the same. Foo-foo! I know, some of the details are a little different, but it's still an amazing recreation of Chaldea's rooms. Seal and Captain really outdid themselves. This is her room, though. Why is it making me say that? Oh, yes, good idea. I was hoping I forgot all about that. Okay, I'll go take a look at the room they gave me right now. We're all done with work for the day, so there's no reason not to relax and enjoy yourself now. Good night, Senpai. I'll see you tomorrow morning for breakfast in the new cafeteria. Let me romance the Mashu in-game, and not just in my head.
I mean, it doesn't look late. One in the morning. Great time. And we're hungry. Hungry, hungry me. Foe is sleepy sleep. Sleepy sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep, little foe. Can't believe this. And over that Atlas cur. Not only did I not have my director's office ready, he had the gall to tell me to use a sleeping bag at the dock until it was done. Some captain he is. No doubt he's some pirate scum of a heroic spirit. If he thinks he can treat me like... No, this won't do. I can't lose my temper like this. Get a hold of yourself, be elegant, breathe from the diaphragm, just like Tool taught you. Captain may try to hide it, but his dignity is unmistakable. No pirate could fake that. But then, who could it really be? I just can't tell. If only I could ask myself. But I can't do that. A commander must maintain a certain dignity. Well, why can't he just accept that we're all allies now? Excuse me. And tell us his true name already. Well, I better make myself comfortable since I'll be spending the night here again. Monier, Kawada, Octavia, Tomlin, Chin, Cayenne, Elron, Marcus. Carolite, Soul. I see I had no problems remembering how to make rooms for all my staff. Well, I may have their cushy beds, but there's one thing I've got that they don't. Midnight snack time. Ha ha ha. I think we'll go break in the new kitchen. Kitchen time. Nothing's gonna be good without Emiya, though. Not gonna be as good without Emiya. Cake! That's a Christmas cake! Wow, that's old Christmas cake, Gordy. Oh. Do you often raid kitchens like this, Director? I'm not raiding anything, I'm merely having my midnight tea time. You're sharper than you look, aren't you? I never imagined anyone besides me would try to get a jump on the kitchen. Still, I do commend your taste. I prefer you were lured here by the sweet scent of butter. Presume. Oh, very well, then. I've already had my fill. Here, you can have the other half. There's some leftover tea as well if you want it. That'll be great. Thank you, Gorelf. Nice, relaxing mealtime with the Director. Oh, well, by the way, is everything alright with you? And with the demi-servant girl, for that matter. Never mind, I can see myself woken up in the middle of the night, still, despite being utterly exhausted. That can only mean you've been unable to relax in your mind, despite all that's happened. Well, I can hardly blame you. This must have been an arduous journey for a young man with no military experience. Once you've had some cake and a nice hot cup of tea, you should have no trouble drifting right off. Go back to your room once you've finished that, and you'll see how right I am. See, Gordoff is considerate. That's nice of him. And of course, I trust that you'll join me in pretending none of this happened tomorrow morning. Now that you've eaten the other half of the cake I found here, that makes you my accomplice after all. I mean, there's no real questioning. Exactly what I said, of course. I found this cake here with a note that said, "For Soul." Don't bother making excuses. Your friends baked it as part of a master welcome party they'll be throwing for tomorrow morning, didn't they? Some nerve you half throwing a party and not inviting me. I admit I was pretty steamed when I saw this cake with your name on it, but I calmed down quickly and decided to do the kind thing and taste it for you. It must have been a surprise thing. Before I knew it, I'd eaten half the thing. In fact, I was just appreciating how delightfully sweet its cream was when you found me. Now then, are you all finished? Good, good. This makes us partners in crime. He does look a little pale. Huh? Hold on, you mean you didn't know about this cake? Then who made it, and more importantly, is it just me or are we both looking off color? I also can't but notice that I'm feeling rather cold and dizzy all of a sudden. Oh boy. Ah, the familiar alarms. Warning, warning, unauthorized life form detected. Civilian personnel, please remain in your rooms. Security teams, please suit up and come to the command room. An unauthorized life form? Then we've got an intruder here. What the...
Get back before you get hurt. There's a real nasty woman over there.
Captain? This way, Director. Well, this isn't an unpleasant surprise. I never thought a grown man would stop stealing food meant for a child. I'm not a child! In fact, you shocked me so much that I lost control of my presence concealment. It seems the one thing you excel at is getting in other people's way. Wouldn't you agree, Your Excellency? Koyan.
Tomovich Koyansakaya. Impossible. How did you get into the Wandering Sea? Yeah, run that name by me again.
Trade secret, this was so special trick that I'm afraid I could only do once. And now... You've gone and ruined it, Your Excellency. There was only enough poison in that cake for one person. Half a portion means half the effect. I can't believe my plan to poison him without leaving behind any evidence of backfired so spectacularly.
Poison, poison, don't be absurd. I give it a thorough taste so ensure it was safe. Between the buttery scent, the buttery taste, and the creamy-like texture, it was perfectly gourmet cake. If it had truly been poison, it would have spit it out the first bite.
I accounted for that, of course. I made sure to use just enough that not even a mage would notice. I even went to the trouble of mixing it into a delectable cake instead of a plain old water, just to be doubly certain. Oh no. We're screwed. Well, what's done is done. And since it looks like everyone else is on their way here now, I think I'll take my leave before things turn violent. I'm sure you'll have no trouble figuring out what the poison was with Sherlock and Da Vinci here, but that's all you'll be able to do. If you want to actually neutralize the poison, well, you'll have no choice but to fight your own little friends to the death again. And that should be quite entertaining in its own right.
So that's why we're going to China, I'm guessing. The antidote's there, and she doesn't like Akuda. Damn, she's warping away. What are you waiting for, you fool? Hurry up and catch her before she...
It's no use. She's already gone. Never mind her now. We need to get you to the infirmary. Sion, we have an emergency. Take Da Vinci and meet us inside the border. I'll do my best to cleanse the poison from them in the meantime.
So we be the poison fools. Just out of the infirmary.
Senpai, are you okay? What do the tests say?
Calm yourself, Miss Carolite. I'll get to that. It's been half a day since Koyanskaya infiltrated our new base. We've done everything we can to treat Sol and Mr. Gordolf. Luckily, Mr. Gordolf has at most 10 days to live. Ooh, that's a little bit morbid. As for Sol, this is rather difficult for me to say, but... difficult to say, he's essentially fine. The poison remains in his system, but it will have no more effect than a bad cold.
Cold, even though it's fatal for Dr. Gordolf.
That can't be right, we're both ingested the same amount of poison. Yes, but thanks to his contract with Miss Carolite, Mr. Sol has a rather potent resistance to poison. Now, if that contract were to be broken, he would most likely be dead in an hour. Well, that's a little bit morbid to think about. Thank you, Mashu. You protect me from poisons. Yes, Mashu save.
Well, of course, I'm honored to be helpful, but... don't we still have to do something to help Dr. Gordolf?
Damn straight you do. What are we waiting for? I know you can figure out what an antidote. They say genius recognizes genius, right? And you're two of the greatest geniuses in human history. Then put all that genius to work and help me already. I'm terribly sorry, but for once there's nothing we can do. We analyzed Koyanskaya's poison, and I'm afraid she's chosen some frankly troublesome ingredients. Its base sequence does not exist on Earth in 2020, such that there's no way for humanity in its current state to reproduce it, which also means it's impossible to formulate an antidote.
Base sequence doesn't exist in Earth 2020. So His Majesty is telling us yes. We did determine that the poison they ingested is some sort of natural substance. But we have no success determining what planet it was extracted from. All we know is the name Jian Immortal Decline, and the fact that it was used a number of times in the past. I can tell you that its name is likely of Taoist origin, considering all the references to immortality, and that the planet itself comes from medicinal, but it's unfortunately that is all.
If that doesn't exist now, then... which kept happening, then my chances of receiving an antidote are 0.
Not to worry, that's what you got me for. We may not be able to reproduce the poison just yet, but since we know the Taoist origin, it most likely comes from China, so next step is clear. Just because it's gone in the modern era doesn't mean they're out of options. After all, we've got a whole different China we know nothing about, just waiting to be explored. China that followed a completely different path to the one proper human history. So I'm absolutely completely certain that we'll find the antidote to that poison in the Chinese Lostbelt. And if we don't, we can learn what it's made from by just studying the local ley lines. As luck would have it, I just managed to summon the perfect guide for us. Come in. This is a momentous occasion, the very first helper we summoned with Chaldea's Spirit Origin Graph. Faster than the wind, cuter than fire. This Lotus Spirit's charms even melted the heart of Taiyu Zen Hen. That's right, it's the artificial bow boy made in the ancient shrine, the Marshal of Central Altar, Crown Prince Neza. Da Vinci, that intro is wasted on me. It's embarrassing. But I am honored to be the first resummoned. Ni hao, happy day. Soul, Nash, I have heard what happened. You did so well. Surviving that, I will help you. From now on, I will work 3 times harder to make up for lost time.
Thank you, Nezha. She's grown on me. Ever since Salem. That's wonderful, Da Vinci. You beautiful goddess. I knew glasses suited you. Then you'll go to the Chinese Lostbelt to save me. Fantastic. The Atlantic Lostbelt can wait. Besides, we need to deal with all the cryptors sooner or later. Prepare to go immediately, everyone. We're invading the Chinese Lostbelt to take back proper human history. The next Lostbelt.
I understand how you feel, Master. Director Gordolph's life is at stake. We have to deal with all the Lostbelts, no matter what might be awaiting us inside them. After all, we're not wanderers. We have our own world with our own history.
I know.
Alright, I understand. I have no objections. This should be a good learning experience. Besides, you're still technically poisoning yourself, Soul. Just because it's not affecting you right now doesn't necessarily mean it will not later, when you really should neutralize it.
Wonderful. This is tremendously promising. What are we waiting for? Let's get to the border ready to.
Not so fast. There's something we need to clear up first. How did Koyan enter the Wandering Sea? We need to understand that so it can't happen again. It should be impossible to warp into the Wandering Sea from the outside, since it's impossible to see, its coordinates are always changing. And yet she popped inside like it was nothing, which means...
There must have been something she was able to use as an anchor. Just to clear up any doubts, Monsieur, and I don't suppose Koyan was originally from the Wandering Sea. Perhaps she had visited here at least once before.
No chance, this was definitely her first time here.
Well, there's only one possibility. One of us summoned her. Or rather, more precisely, one of us possesses something with some connection to her.
Something connected to her. What do you think it could be? From this, I doubt it's anything related to magecraft. It could be as simple as a pair of gloves or a hairbrush. Whatever it is, I'm guessing it's something small that contains a fragment of Kiyosaki herself.
Oh, Gordolph, what did you do?
Director Gordolph, is something wrong? I'm so sorry, Excellency. I appreciate your kindness, really. But I've been hurt too many times in the past. I just can't bring myself to trust anyone else again. Even though I really want to.
Yes, of course. I completely understand, darling. Rest assured, I'm a patient man. I can wait as long as I must to melt the ice around your heart. In the meantime, you may use my connections as you see fit. I'm not known as music the Phoenix for nothing, after all. My passion is as hot and sultry as my namesake. I swear to you that one day my undying love will find the perfect mixed coat to warm your frozen heart. Why aren't you saying anything?
Forgive me, Your Excellency. I was just so touched by what you said. Here, Your Excellency, I want you to have this lipstick. Pretend it's me. Keep it close to your heart where no one can ever see it. I know how awful I can be, so I'm afraid I might end up disappointing you over and over and over.
Over and over?
But please remember this. If you swear to hold on to that lipstick forever and ever, I promise you that one day I'll return to you, no matter what fate might have in store.
Yes, of course, I'll remember. I have faith in Koyan. I always will. You know, if I didn't know what a bitch Koyan was, I would totally fall for this as well.
Is that some lipstick?
Why, you stupid thing.
So it turns out it was actually Gordy's fault.
Yeah, that's a bit of a sad story. At any rate, that's one problem taken care of. We've finished investigating the base and removed all traces of Koyan or anything she left behind. We should no longer have to worry about unexpected visits from her in the future, correct, Miss Sion?
Yeah, she had one shot at taking you out, and she blew it. I would have ventured a guess that she's not too pleased right now, but you know what they say, what goes around comes around.
Oh, boy, I don't have time to feel sorry for myself. Holmes, Da Vinci. As I was saying, we need to leave for the Chinese Lostbelt immediately. I trust the border is ready. We only have 10 days to find this plant, and we can't waste a single minute. Come to think of it, are you sure we'll make it in time? I'm not already done for, am I?
Don't worry, I haven't thought about that. I just need to run it by Sion. Sion, you designed the paper moon. Do you think it'd be possible to zero sail from here all the way to the Chinese Lostbelt border? Especially since I'm guessing Captain there is actually... Shit, eventually I can't stand other people sharing my secrets. Of course, I'll keep my mouth shut as long as you help us out. That is all that matters. In my estimation, zero sales should let us jump from the Wandering Sea straight to China. We'd still have to worry about getting inside from there, of course, but I figure that actual trip to the Lostbelt would take less than a day. What do you think, Sia? Am I totally off base? Nope, all sounds right to me, Da Vinci. No wonder you're Chaldea's, or rather, humanity's guardian. I would have suggested the same thing, you were just quicker about it. The Atlas Institute will be glad to get you to the Chinese Lostbelt, right, Captain? I'm not part of the Atlas Institute, but I suppose I can help. I'll have you to the Chinese Lostbelt in less than half a day. After that, it's all up to you guys, Soul.
Thanks, Captain, my Captain.
Foo-foo! Guess we all agree then. Okay, everyone, get ready to head out. I estimate you should have room on the border to fit supplies for about 15 days. I'll open up the Wandering Seas dock in about an hour, so please make sure you're all set by then. Your next station is the Chinese Lostbelt. Your objective is to obtain some Jianxi Miangmai, investigate the Lostbelt, and completely cure your 2 poison personnel. For the bonus round, you can defeat the Lostbelt's king, cut down the Tree of Emptiness, and take out the Cryptor. I know you're working against the clock as well as any hostiles you encounter, but try to stay calm. At this point, any differences the Atlas Institute or the Wandering Sea may have had no longer matter. From this point on, I hereby dub the Wandering Sea Chaldea number 2, Novum Chaldea. As Trust Majesty X2's caretaker, I'll do everything I can to support you. Alright then. It's time to get this order to explore the Cypher Lostbelt number 3 underway. Good luck with everything, and I'll see you all when you get back.
Woo! Lostbelt 3! Woo! If only they announced it. Data update complete. So I gotta do this to get my quartz, and we'll also just, since we're gonna be here, claim all the loot we get that they announced in the stream. It's of course gonna do a data update. And on Gil. Gil is the wealthy boy after all. Oh, my eyes are dry, my throat's hurting. I'm gonna be needing to take my contacts out. Probably lay down after this. Now, give me that quartz. Login bonus. Login bonus. I've got to skip to the end. Give me my quartz. There we go. Alright, and we also get exchange ticket. We'll take a stake. 13 quartz for the celebration, 18 Aurora Steel, 16 Giant Rings, 15 Eternal Ice, 10 Gunpowder, 23 Stakes, 18 Magatamas, 19 Divine Wine, 16 Spinal Flutes, 23 Gallstones, 12 Lenogos, 5 Archer Pieces, 14 Poisonous Needles, 5 Saving Pieces, 16 Chains, 17 Evil Sealing Lamps, 23 Scarabs of Wisdom, 24 Great Knights Battles, 20 Spirit Roots, 10 Young Bicorn Horns, 10 Tears of Blood, 5 Caster Pieces, 14 Beast Grease, 20 Pages, 5 Lancer Pieces, 14 Homunculus Babies, 22 Ancient Gears, 30 Phoenix Feathers, 13 Shells, 5 Rider Pieces, 10 Meteor Horseshoes, 11 Serpent Jewels, 20 Chaos Claws, 16 Ghost Lanterns, 15 Octuple Crystals, 5 Berserker Pieces, 30 Hearts, 22 Yggdrasil Seeds, 5 Assassin Pieces, 21 Proofs of Hero, 26 Dragon Verse Scales, 24 Dragon Fangs, 10 Void Dust, 17 Bones, and a Silver Fruit to round it up. Good lord, that was a lot of good resources. No time to waste. So let me play it. Alright, but I am going to be calling this stream here. Gonna be finishing off Christmas rerun on my own time. I'm not too much left, so you know. I'll be good. But thank you all so much for coming out. I do hope that you enjoyed this stream. I am hyped for when Lostbelt 3 will finally release. And the Thanksgiving campaign is going on now. If I go to the summon... If I go to summon, it should show up, I'm guessing. Yep, Thanksgiving. So yep, I'm going to call this here. Thanks so much for coming out. I hope you enjoyed. Have a fantastic evening, everybody. And look forward, because when Lostbelt 3 drops, I will be streaming.